now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. They always have been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the Vietnam War. The government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your Wig Daily Morning Show. We bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, it is election day. The great showdown that we see in American politics every 4 years has now begun. Voting is occurring in all 50 states right now, Tuesday, November the 5th, 2024. And this is going to be one of those days that goes down in history because about 24 hours from now, we expect that we will know who is going to be the next president of the United States, either current Vice President Kamala Harris or President Donald Trump. One of the two are going to be leading our great nation of America. And that is going to have lasting implications on the stock market, on the real estate market, on the housing market, and of course, on the cryptocurrency market. And we've got a lot to talk about in that regard. But first and foremost, I want to tell you guys something very, very simple that I have learned over the course of my life, and it has a lot to do with our topic today. And that is that when you find what you are called to in your life and you walk in it is when you will find true joy. Oftentimes, we think that we will find our calling because of what we enjoy. But I often have realized in my life and also by observing others' lives that you find true joy in life after you figure out your calling and you walk in it. And that's what I've done. I found my calling in life. My calling in life after serving the Lord Jesus Christ and loving and serving my wife and my kids is to love and serve you by teaching you about financial sovereignty. It is my dream and my heart's desire to help you succeed when it comes to money. I wish that I had the Financial Sovereignty Academy when I was joining adulthood, right? When I grew up and I became an adult. I wish that I had that. I wish that I had something to teach me. Just do this and this and this and this and do it in this order and remember these principles. And here's a plan. Here's the skills you need. By the way, here's the teaching. Do this and you're going to be wealthy. If I had what we are building for you guys right now, 7 years ago, our family would probably be worth about $40 million, $50 million right now. We're worth a lot. We're very, very blessed, and God's been really good to us, and we're so thankful for that. But we could have been so much farther along if I had the teaching that I have right now that we're going to share with you. So today, we're going to talk about three major things. Number one, we're going to talk about the presidential election because it happens once every 4 years. It is the biggest fundamental development going on in news right now, and that will lead us into our second topic, which is what is going to happen next on the market. I want you to understand what's coming to the market so you know how much you should be investing, how much you should be saving for future investments, and whether you should be taking profits or not. And then third, we're going to be talking about, well, just that. We're going to be talking about what we should be doing in response to this market. How does the election impact the market, and how does what the market do impact what you should be doing? That's what we're here today to do. So welcome to the stream. If you are new here, my name is Jeb McAfee. I've been working in the cryptocurrency space for over 7 years now. It is my heart's desire to help you succeed with money. Our mission statement is to help solve America's financial problems one family at a time. I want to help the world solve their financial problems one family at a time. And the way we do that is by choosing FinSov, forsaking the foolishness, repenting of the chaos, and declaring war on debt and building something worth living in. Welcome to the stream, everyone who is here. Sean O'Brien is here, was first this morning. Called outs in chat. Drian121 in chat. Joe Bollier, Cosmin B, Fit in Crypto. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Philly Skills 1428. Drian is in chat. Pew Pew Poom 2. Wreck the Bears. Joel Elbs. Freddie. Alex Nivo. Jose Vega is in chat. Freddie said, good morning, brother, from Tampa, Florida. Shout out to Tampa. We've got some church family down in Tampa. Actually, they're a bit east of Tampa, but just outside of Tampa. Beautiful city. My wife and I go down to Tampa quite a bit. Let's get started. There's a lot to cover, and we want to go ahead and move on through it. So let's do this. Bitcoin is currently trading at $69,858, and it has gone through a small rally over the last 24 hours, moving into election day today. And that is something that is unsurprising. We predicted over the last several weeks that election day and the week following it would be extremely tumultuous and very difficult to predict because we can't be sure who's going to win the election. What happens when you have an election coming is that the odds of where Bitcoin is going to go, either up or down, is inextricably linked to the method of the election and the outcome of the election. By method, I mean, how did it go? Was it a clear victory? You know, one candidate is 40 electoral college votes ahead, or is it neck and neck? Is there a lot of allegations of election fraud going on, or is there not? And everybody thinks, oh yeah, it was a fair election. You know, it was obvious. What is the method of the election? How did it go? And then also, what's the outcome? Now, here's the tricky thing. We also don't know whether Trump winning would rally or crash the market, or whether Kamala winning would rally or crash the market. We just don't know. I mean, there's no way to tell that for sure. So what we have to do here is we have to kind of step out in faith. We've got to step out in faith that if we follow our principles, even if we don't know exactly what's going to happen over the next few days, then we will be able to succeed in the long run, because having uncertainty about what's going to happen in the market in the next few days doesn't actually change anything in the long run. It's interesting. It's wildly interesting, which is why half the planet right now is watching the United States presidential election, but it's not going to make or break our investments. The main thing that we need to point out here is that the election is going to cause chaos. It is going to cause chaos. Absolute, unremittent chaos. True or false? Your candidate is the only path forward, is the only option, or else America will fail. It'll completely cease to exist. You know, America will just poof into the black of night. It'll cease to function. America will grind to a halt. True or false? If your candidate does not win, America will cease to function, and it will screech to a halt, and atom bombs will be going off everywhere. Not judging anyone who feels that way. To be honest with you, I feel that way sometimes. But what I do know is that the United States of America is the strongest nation in the history of mankind, and that is because it is one of the few nations in the history of mankind that was founded on the principles of God, and it also has some really dang solid geography. Love America. Incredible nation. And it's not going to be destroyed by Trump or Kamala. Like Kamala, like Trump, hate Kamala, hate Trump. Agree, disagree. Blue, red, pink, purple, yellow, green. America's a lot stronger than any one of those candidates, no matter how strong and powerful they may be. America may do better or worse under one candidate, depending on how you define that. But what I know is that the United States of America will continue to be the most powerful nation on planet Earth. So I want to remind you of that as we lead here into Election Day, because the fear of the country is going to descend into oblivion if this candidate gets elected will lead to hate, and hate leads to evil, and evil leads to disunity, and it's not something that we need. We don't need fear-mongering. One of the reasons I haven't spoken too much on the election is because I don't want to fearmonger. There's already a lot of fear. There's already a lot of uncertainty. There's already a lot of doubt. But the Bible says, perfect love casteth out fear, for whom has love does not fear. It is not my desire to make you afraid unless absolutely necessary. Now, if you're drowning in debt, you dang well ought to be afraid. It would be loving for me to share with you that. But I'm not interested in freaking you guys out. What I am interested in is telling you that there's uncertainty going on in the hearts of many Americans right now. There is uncertainty in the hearts of most people around the world right now, because half of the aisle has become completely and totally and thoroughly convinced that Donald Trump is the Antichrist, and he is going to destroy the world. He's going to press the big red button, and nukes are going to go off about 24 hours from today. And the other half of the world has become convinced that Kamala Harris is the Antichrist, and she is of the devil, and that she's going to, if she's elected, she's going to press the big red button, and we're going to have nuclear bombs going off about 24 hours from now. And there may be a degree of truth to either one of those statements. I don't think either one of them are the Messiah. I haven't put my faith in either one of them. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris have both from the pulpit, if you will, from the stage talked about the Bible. Both of them have talked about Jesus. Both of them claim to follow him. You know, I think there's differences there. I think one, it seems like Trump might follow him more. I don't know. But what I do know is that neither one of them are my savior. Neither one of them are the one that's going to save my soul. One of them may be better for the nation. I'll tell you right now, I personally think Trump would be much better for the economy. I personally think Trump would be much better on some of the issues with immigration. I personally think that. And you guys can probably tell who I'm voting for. But I also don't think that we should be walking around, with hatred in our heart towards the other side of the aisle. I don't think that that's helpful. I think that we need to remember the way that Martin Luther King was able to unify the nation under nonviolence, both in action and in tongue, through loving and praying for his enemies, who were truly enemies. They were beating him, trying to kill him. They were trying to assassinate him. We've got to remember what he did. And we've got to remember that he based that at the end of the 5th chapter of the book of Matthew, where Jesus tells us to pray for our enemies. And he teaches us to love them that hate us. We've got to transform the nation, not because we voted for Trump or not because we voted for Kamala, although that's great and you should get out and vote. Millions of Americans fought and died for your right to vote, so get out and vote. It's your civic duty. I think it's your job. It's important. Get out and vote. Be informed, know what you're talking about, but vote. But also remember that whoever wins, they are not the king of this land. Hopefully, Jesus Christ is the king of this land, and we get to make that choice in our heart whether or not we elect him to be the king of this nation. So let's put the fear, let's put the uncertainty, and let's put the doubt aside in our hearts. Let's have faith that the true king of our land will lead us well. Now, the reason I bring all that up was because whether we have fear, uncertainty, or doubt in our heart or not, the rest of the country does. They did assassinate. Well, no, that's true, Press O'Neill. I apologize. You're right. I mean, they did assassinate MLK. They succeeded in that, unfortunately. Anyway, the rest of the country is experiencing fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and a great deal of it. And that leads to tumult. So there's a few recommendations I'm going to give you here. The first thing that I'm going to recommend to you is to avoid trading. This is a no trade zone. We have no clue what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. I don't want you to be afraid, but I completely understand if you have uncertainty and doubt. Because we cannot be certain of what's going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. We have no idea who's going to win the election. We have no idea whether it's going to be legit or not. We have no idea whether there's going to be election fraud. We have no idea whether you're going to have a 60-40 win for Kamala, 60-40 win for Trump. We have no idea whether Trump winning would rally or crash the market, or if Kamala winning would rally or crash the market. We don't know if having a decision would rally the market because the market all of a sudden at least knows who the president is, or if it would crash the market because the market now all of a sudden doesn't like half the market doesn't like the fact that whoever's in office is in office. We have no idea. We really don't. There's no way of knowing. And so with that uncertainty and doubt, avoid trading. You trade when you have a plan and you have a reason to believe that you're going to actually make it with that trade. This is a no trade zone right now. On the other hand, as an investor, it is almost always time to be investing. It's almost always time to be investing. Remember, guys, we boiled 7 years of technical analysis experience down to one question. We managed to turn, yesterday on stream, we managed to turn the entirety of my career, over 10,000 hours of doing technical analysis on the Bitcoin market. I'm a master technical analyst on the Bitcoin market at this point. I've been doing this for a very long time. There are kids in elementary school that are younger than my career in technical analysis at this point. We boiled it all down to one question. Based on our TA, how much of our money that we use in Law 5 goes into investment in the market every week, and how much of it goes into savings every week? Based on our technical analysis, what does the forecast look like? If the forecast looks great, all right, let's not be saving much. Let's be investing the majority of it. If the forecast looks not so great, let's be saving more of it and investing less of it. It's that simple. Well, Jeb, you do all this technical analysis. How does it tie into FinSov? Well, Jeb, I don't see how these are related. That is the crux. Our TA leads into FinSov Academy. FinSov. By this question: how much do we save or invest each week in Step 9 of the FinSov Academy, in the Financial Sovereignty Way, each week? And so that's the question we're going to be asking right now for you guys that are following the Financial Sovereignty Way, which is a lot of you guys. How much money should we be putting into our dollar cost averaging for the investment side of the equation or the saving part of the equation? I would personally consider saving a little bit more this week. And the reason for that is when you have uncertainty, that translates to bearishness. I mean, you've heard it, right? FUD and FOMO. FOMO is bullish, FUD's bearish. This week, if you're going to be doing your dollar cost averaging and you're about to put money into the market, and you follow our plan, which is that every week or every month or whatever the interval is, you put money directly into the market, and you put money directly into a cash account that you use to buy the dip. I would consider being more so in cash right now. I would consider being more so putting money into cash rather than into actual positions, because we might see a big dip. We might see a gigantic crash. Bitcoin is down a good bit. U.S. stock market has corrected. We may see a large dip. You may consider, instead of putting 10% into savings, you may consider putting 20% into savings. I'm not saying stop dollar cost averaging, because the bull market's still going to do great, but we might see a drop down to 62, 64. It could very well happen, but it won't last long, which is why still the majority, I would say, I would put this out here. You know, it's your option of what to do, but this is just an idea. This is my commentary on the market. I still think the majority of what you're putting into the cryptocurrency market, keep putting it into Bitcoin, because there's going to be a big rally. Whether Kamala or Trump wins, we're going to see a major rally coming in the next 6 to 12 months. Bitcoin has sat up here above $50,000 for long enough. It has managed to hold it. 50K seems to be impregnable. It seems that Bitcoin is never going to be able to go below that again. We don't know that for sure, but at least in the medium term, i.e. the next 6 to 12 months, doesn't seem like Bitcoin's going to be able to drop through 50K. Right now, we seem to be on a collision course with $100,000. So continue your dollar cost averaging, continue to acquire, continue to invest in retirement accounts, continue to pay off your house, your mortgage, continue to put money into extra wealth generation in step 9 of the financial sovereignty way. Continue to do these things, because that's how you're going to build wealth, is through consistency. Remember, it's not dollar cost average around here. It's called disciplined and consistent acquisition. That is how we abbreviate dollar cost average. Disciplined and consistent acquisition. You are going to, with discipline, you are going to consistently acquire whatever asset it is you're trying to invest in. You're going to hold it for 5 to 7 years at least. Much shorter than that, and you're doing a trade. You can make no mistake, you can make a trade that lasts 18 months. I mean, you can buy a house, remodel it, and flip it, and it took you a year to do that. That's still a form of a trade, right? It's not really an investment. It's more of a trade. It's more of a shorter-term deal. You kind of know when you're planning on selling it, and it's not that far out. Continue to dollar cost average in the market. But let's talk about the technicals. Let's try and get as much clarity on what's going to happen next as we possibly can. Daily chart, MACD's kind of useless right now. We had a bearish cross, but it's hard to use it because Bitcoin is just basically trading sideways, and more or less has been here for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So MACD looks fine. You know, there's not much to go by here. On the Crypto Jeb Oscillator, which you can get by going to luxalgo.com/Jeb, we now have seen we saw bearish divergence here. We have seen that the momentum and the velocity of the Crypto Jeb Oscillator are slowing down, but we're at baseline, which means we basically corrected, and which basically means that we have the ability to start a new uptrend because we have consolidated up here. We have established our market structural floor, our market structure support here between $65,000 and $70,000, and so that is, you know, very, very helpful that we've done that, because that means that Bitcoin's base right now is at about 70K. That's what we're seeing here on RSI as well. RSI is sitting down here at 51, which indicates that we are establishing strong support here at $70,000. And on RSI, we actually have some very good news, and that is that we have bullish RSI divergence. You can see the RSI divergence here with the higher highs on the bottoms, and we have lower highs on the bottoms here with RSI. The reason that that's significant is because RSI divergence is very rarely wrong. It's very, very, very rarely wrong. Okay, and what RSI divergence does, if you don't know, RSI divergence is a bullish signal. It tells us that the market is going to continue higher. It's going to continue further into the bullish direction. It means that Bitcoin is likely about to go into a rally. And that corresponds with what we see on the daily chart here. We're looking at a bullish engulfing candlestick formation. We had a spinning top yesterday. We saw a medium-sized candle body with long wicks on either end. The spinning top signals indecision. And then today we see a green candlestick, at least for now, although this candlestick is not closed, and we should not really consider much with this candlestick until it's closed, because this is going to be such a tumultuous day. Expect there to be a lot of volatility today, especially as more votes start pouring in this afternoon. We start to know, okay, this state's decided, etc. It's going to become a lot more... It's going to bounce around a lot, most likely. We're going to have a lot of movement because of what we're seeing in the election as votes start to come in, right? But the good news is here, we're also still in this parabolic uptrend. right? We've got the parabolic highs, we've got the parabolic lows. All of this denotes that Bitcoin is in strong territory. The bullish RSI divergence is great. And then also, if we look at LUX ALGO here, you can see that although we do have a sell signal right here, it has not been confirmed by Trend Catcher, and honestly probably won't be. We are riding above this zone of support here on LUX ALGO. If you come in here to, you can see that's called the Smart Trail, right? Smart Trail right there, very helpful. We love the Smart Trail. The drop down menu, yeah, so you can see the Smart Trail right there, very helpful. It tells us when we're in an uptrend, when we're in a downtrend, where our support or resistance is, where the zone is. We've got this reversal zone right here below this uptrend that I drew, because LUX ALGO is just absolutely phenomenal. You can see that we're above it, so that's great. You know, we've got support. Bitcoin could fall down here to 65, 64, and it'd still be fine. It'd still be in an overall uptrend, which is very, very helpful. You know, even out on the 3-daily chart, we're seeing a similar thing here. We've got a confirmed uptrend here on LUX ALGO for the first time in a long time. We've got a confirmed uptrend with the buy signal right there. Trend catcher's green. We're above the reversals, the smart trail right there, which is great. The reversal zones are way down there, so we're way above those. We've not even gotten up to the reversal zones yet. They're up here on the daily chart. We just barely touched the reversal zone and rejected from it, which means, I mean, we could very easily come up here again. When you touch the reversal zone, a lot of times that means that you're going to come up and touch it again. Just kind of looking back into the past here to show you what I mean. This upper reversal zone, when you touch it, you know, just a little bit, a lot of times you kind of get sucked into it. It's almost like a vortex. You just get, boom, you get pulled into that resistance reversal zone. And so then you'll end up going and testing it again and again and again and again and again. And when you've just barely touched it one time and then go through a corrective movement like this, a lot of times you're going to end up going and spending a good bit of time in it. Bitcoin seems like it's gone on a big run now, but we've only barely touched the bottom of the reversal zone. Bitcoin, according to the history of LUX ALGO, if it really is in a bull market, if it's really in a strong rally, what you're going to be seeing is it almost up here on the top of the reversal zone, which right now is at $83,000, right? So there's a lot of room to run. So if you want to put a little bit more of your position into cash this week, I would understand. And maybe you should do that just because of the uncertainty. But as far as the technicals are concerned, they're still looking just as bullish as they were. It still looks like there's going to be a big rally. And I definitely advocate for you to consider continuing to dollar cost average into the market, whether it be Bitcoin, the stock market, Ethereum. These are great investment vehicles that are going to help you to succeed in the long run. And so it really comes down to this. The fear, uncertainty, and doubt in this market is temporary. Now, who's going to be president is technically temporary, although it's much longer term. It's 4 years. But even that is temporary, right? This market is only going to be really impacted by the outcome of the election in a serious way for a few days, right? I mean, the election is going to happen. We're going to have a winner, a declared winner. There probably will be some contention about the results from either side, whether Kamala wins or Trump wins. Whoever lost is probably going to be like, that's not fair. That wasn't right. You know, but regardless, we're going to have a decision. And so the impact of this on the market is likely going to be very brief in history. In the long run, the election, whether the candidate that won was blue or red, has always led to a massive rally on Bitcoin. So in the short term, this leads to indecision. It leads to uncertainty. It leads to fear and doubt. In the long run, generally, from the data, from the historical data, because I speak on conviction on two things, and that is data and the Bible, because they're both true, right? What is truth? Dolly Parton, what is truth? I speak on those two things a lot, data and the Bible, because they're both truth. The truth is, every time in history that an election has taken place, whether it was contested, whether Trump thought it was stolen, whether if Kamala loses and thinks it's stolen and flips the script, whatever happens there, the data shows that when an election happens, 365 days to 380 to 400 days later, the Bitcoin market is more than doubled, and we are sitting at all-time high. And so with a couple days of uncertainty here, that's something we can live with. And if the market drops, fine. Buy more. If the market rallies, great. You've got paper returns. And so I don't want you to be scared here. I don't want you to be worried here. This is not something that we should be freaking out about. All right, let's read a little bit of chat. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Roll Hendricks said, don't just vote, hit the like button and vote for Jeb's content. Thank you so much, Roll Hendricks. Crypto Surge said, I'm voting for Jesus. He will always be my president. I love that. Monkey is in chat, said, now hit the like if you support Jeb. Thank you. I appreciate that. Came here for the crypto, found Jesus. Hi, welcome to the stream, Andrew P. Bible encourages political neutrality, not voting. Where? Where did the Bible encourage political neutrality? I'm interested. I'm interested to hear that. Jeb, how can you say with everything that happened, Gensler, choke point 2.0, ETFs, FUD, taxing unrealized gains, that we will still go up with Harris? Here's why. Because Kamala Harris has some, I'm just going to say it, some very asinine ideas for how to run the economy and run the federal government as far as, financial management. Trump, on the other hand, I think is going to do a better job, but still the debt went up a lot under Trump. He didn't fix the deficit either. I think Trump will do a better job for the economy. I'm not scared to say that, but I also don't think that he's going to do the best job that he could. I don't think that he's going to be, like I say, he's not going to be the savior of it. I think the market will probably go up under Kamala, but I think it might go up more. It might rally more so in spite of Kamala. And also the other thing is Kamala's unrealized capital gains tax idea, I don't think is actually going to be able to pass. I don't think it's going to pass. Because here's the thing you got to remember. The president doesn't have as much power as the media and as the presidential candidate likes you to think they do. They have the ability to do executive orders, but much of what Kamala is proposing there, she'd have to get through Congress. And I would hope, although I don't know for sure, but I would hope that there's, how should I say this? No way in hell that Congress would ever allow unrealized capital gains taxes. Hopefully not. Now, you got a bunch of idiots in Congress that don't know any better, and Lord pray for them, and maybe I shouldn't call them idiots, but let's say knuckleheads, people that are not of the most high intellect, people that do not understand the laws of money. You cannot spend more than you make and not run off a cliff eventually, right? Hopefully Congress would not allow that to pass. And I honestly don't think she'd be able to get it passed. I think if Kamala does win, a lot of these policies that she's put forward are not going to happen, and she would struggle to get reelected because some of the things that she promised, like the $25,000 credit for first-time home buyers, is probably not going to happen. And people will say, "Oh, where's that?" Right? They're going to be like, "What happened there?" So, could Kamala win? Yeah, absolutely. Will she? Maybe. Do I think the market would still manage to rally under her? Yeah. Did the market manage to rally under Obama? Yes. Did the market manage to rally under Reagan? Yes. Did the market manage to rally under Trump? Yes. Did the market manage to rally under Biden? Yes. Did inflation go up under Biden? Yes. Were things great under Biden? No. I'm not the biggest fan of the way the economy was handled under Biden. I'm not. I'm also not the biggest fan of the fact that we ran a multi-trillion-dollar a year deficit under Trump either. We've got a lot of things that need to change in the budget, and that's why when our mission statement is not just for the families. It's to radically change America, guys. I want to take this mission all the way to the top. I want to get Congress under control. I want Congress to be financially managed well. I want there not to be a deficit anymore. We've run the country before without a deficit. We don't have to have a deficit. It's not something that's necessary. It's not mandatory. We don't have to do it that way. It's been done before. We've run a surplus before, believe it or not. The debt has been substantially smaller than it is right now. And I don't believe the idea of, it's just the way it is. It can't change. Well, my Bible says, but the faith as small as a mustard seed can move a mountain into the sea. I believe. The hell with that idea. I perfectly believe it can change. It's a man-made institution. It can change. The only thing that can't change in all of creation is the uncreated creator, which is God, because he is sovereign and he is king, and he's the only thing that can't change. Everything else can change. Of course it can change. Of course we can run the nation without a deficit. Of course we can run the nation without debt. Of course we could run the nation in a way that's fair and equitable to all. Of course we could if we just put Jesus Christ as our king. We'd actually do what he taught. And some of the things he taught are the 6 laws of money. Choose to be financially sovereign, live on less than you make, have a written plan for your money, get and stay out of debt, save and invest for the future, and be radically generous. If our government did those things, both sides of the aisle would look a lot similar. There wouldn't be so much division. There's so much division because we can't agree on the correct governing principles, and that's because our nation is strayed away from the Lord. We need to go back to first principles, and those 6 laws of money are intrinsically woven into the fabric of the universe, and if you don't follow them, chaos and hell will ensue. So when we go and vote, it is generally a lesser of two not great options situation. I personally think Trump would probably be better for the economy. I don't know that for sure, but I quite sure that he would be. You know, Kamala was vice president for 4 years and had a great deal of power. Trump was president for 4 years, not a great deal of power, obviously, as the president. I think the economy performed much better under him. But naturally, I don't think either one of them are going to be perfect. So I'm not voting for a messiah. I'm not voting for a preacher. I'm not voting for a king. I'm voting for a president. And since I only have one of two options that are even going to be able to get in, then, you know, that's where we've got to choose the lesser of two, sometimes bad choices. It's very rare in politics that you have a good choice running for president. So yeah, not against Trump, but I'm definitely not going to sit here and say that he's perfect. Let's read a little bit more chat. Politics are just hilarious and laughable. Yeah, they really are. That's the reason that I try and avoid them, because I used to get so worked up over them, and I've come to realize that I don't want to participate in the division and the hate, and one side says, oh, we've got to stop the hate, and you know, panders and virtue signals and preaches to the other side, saying, you're being so hateful, you need to stop that. And then the other side says, yeah, you're being so hateful, you need to stop that, instead of both sides just looking in the mirror and saying, you're so hateful, you got to stop that. Of course there's hate. It's the only reason there's division is because there's hatred. Division comes from hatred. Love brings unity. True love brings unity. Of course there's hatred. One side can't say that they've got a monopoly on love. They don't. Both sides have been very hateful to each other. That's why we've got such a big divide. We've got to do a better job. And so that's my spiel here. So, outcome of the election. Who's going to win? I've got no clue. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. If I had a crystal ball, I would tell you guys, I'd say, I know who's going to win. Come join me with the betting odds. We'll go make $1 million together. But I don't have that. But what I do have are principles that'll teach you to succeed. And if you follow them to the proportion which you follow them, you will succeed. And those principles, the one in particular here is to save and invest. It does not say save and invest when you know who the president is. It does not say save and invest when you know who's going to win the election. It does not say save and invest because your candidate is in office. It says save and invest in assets that you reasonably expect will be worth more in 5 to 7 years. But in general, just save and invest. That's what you got to do. So do that, and the market you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. I've seen so much division in this year. It's so sad. It is very sad. It is extremely sad. And I wish it were different. I wish it were different. I heard someone say something recently that in the Hebrew there were only two kinds of disunities. There was disunity for the sake of power, and there was disunity for the sake of righteousness. And that made the hair on my neck stand up when I heard that. I was like, oh, that's the only two reasons that anybody's ever disunified. People are disunified because they are being proud and because they are seeking power and they are being greedy, or they're disunified because they're seeking righteousness and justice and what's correct. Division for the sake of seeking righteousness is fine. Jesus said, I came not to bring peace but a sword. Division in that regard, that's fine. Division for the sake of power is what we're dealing with. So it's not about division. It's about the greedy division. It's about the division over, I'm gonna rule over you, not the other way around. No, we've got to learn to love one another, and we'll see the world change. Rolando Lima said, good morning, Jeb and Sarah. Good morning to you as well. Guys, I also want to let you know about something that is going on right now that you're definitely not going to want to miss out on, that, and that would be NordVPN and their sale, because NordVPN has an early bird special going on with their Black Friday sale, and that would be their Black Friday exclusive sale with us, Crypto Jeb. If you go to nordvpn.com/Jeb and you hit the big red button that says get the deal, you're going to be able to get the standard version of NordVPN for only $91.53 for 28 months. You've got access for 2 years plus 4 extra months free, and you're going to get it for $30 less than you would get the same thing if you just went to nordvpn.com and used their, the kind of headline Black Friday deal. You'll be getting that for about $121. You're going to save $30 for 28 months when you sign up for NordVPN using our link. So sign up for NordVPN by going to nordvpn.com/Jeb and do so now, because there are hackers and thieves that are trying to steal from you. They're waiting for you to put your credit card information in. They're waiting for you to put your debit card information in, your address, or your phone number, your email, any kind of information. So they can pwn you. They're going to take it, they're going to steal it, and they're going to sell it to data brokers. And those data brokers are going to make a pretty penny off of it. And then they're going to sell it to the highest bidder. And oftentimes the highest bidder is a criminal who wants your information so they can use it to steal more from you, like money, not just passwords. NordVPN is the best software that you're going to find anywhere in the world to protect you at its cost. Now, I'm not talking, now, if you're any civilian, this is what you need. This is exactly what you need. It's NordVPN. Sign up with a link in the description box down below. Appreciate you guys for being here. Matanya Holmes said, Jeff for president. I've thought about it. I've definitely thought about it. It'd be a long, long way off. Obviously, it'd be decades from now. I don't know if I want that job. Maybe I ought to run for that reason, right? Maybe because I don't want that job, I ought to do it. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm not sure I would win because I'm very outspoken about Jesus, and a lot of people don't like that. And that's okay. I know that I will be blessed, and I know eventually if they choose to listen to what I'm saying, they will be blessed for me doing that. So I'm not here to be popular. I'm here to do what God has called me to do, and if that makes me popular, then great, cool, whatever. That's not my goal. But not sure I would get elected because I'm so outspoken about what is right and what is wrong. Hope maybe our nation is redeemable enough to be the point that would be the reason that someone like that would get elected. But I'm not so sure. Satoshi Nakamoto 2024. Yeah, there you go. Satoshi can run the government, huh? Also, guys, make sure if you have not already to sign up for Uphold by going to uphold.com. The link is in the description box down below. And the reason you ought to sign up for Uphold is because they are the #1 place to build your entire system for wealth generation in the cryptocurrency space. They are linking and bridging traditional finance and cryptocurrency finance, DeFi. They're linking them, and they're bringing you real-world banking features that are extremely helpful, like high-yield savings accounts. The USD interest account is amazing. 4.9% APY. You're not going to find this anywhere else. Industry-leading offer. Industry-leading offer here. The national average savings rate is 0.59 APY. They have 4.9% APY. That's absolutely amazing. And you've got FDIC insurance up to $2.5 million. Normally it's $250, but they split it between 10 banks so that you get up to $2.5 million. There's no lockup period, so you have your funds instantly. And since it's on Uphold's exchange, it's an quote-unquote intra-institution transaction, so you're not having to send it between institutions, which means you're not having to wait to spend it. So you've got it right there. You want to, boom, I see a drop on Bitcoin, boom, deployed. Right? That's the big difference. You're not putting it in a different bank, like, for example, CIT Bank. Great high-yield savings account. But you've got to spend 2-3 days to transfer it. By that time, you already missed your trading opportunity. If you were following our teaching and having a saving account where you've got cash that is easily accessible to dump into the market, this is the place to do it because just like that, it's accessible and you can dump it into the market. If you've not signed up for uphold.com, then you absolutely should. Links down below. Let's read a little bit more chat before we wrap it out here. Shadrach Frost said, Jeb, mass respect and love to you and your family, brother. Hope all prayers have been answered for your family. Thank you for coming to work each week for us. I love you guys. I also love building the FinSov Academy. Been doing a ton of work on that lately. Cannot wait to launch it. I'm rushing it. I'm trying to get it out as quickly as I can. There's so much that we're doing on that. When it comes out, man, I'm just so excited to share it with you guys. So excited to share it with you guys. Want to get a couple thousand of you guys in there, really build a strong community, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I've stripped the entire company down to its core. I have just slashed and burned everything at McAfee Media that did not fit our vision. And that's led to, I mean, as you can see, this stream used to have 3,000, 4,000 viewers. Now it's got 300, 400. It'll grow back there. I know that. I'm going to do that. I'm fine with that. But I've slashed and burned everything that does not meet our vision. And our vision, and I've done that mostly intentionally. Some of it's kind of just happened, but a lot of it's been intentional. Anything that does not meet our vision of helping America, helping solve America's financial problems, one family at a time, we have dispelled with. We have gotten rid of. We have completely, wiped out. And so that means that I'm having to rebuild everything. The company's almost 6 years old. I'm kind of just knocking everything down, rebuilding it. If it doesn't meet that vision, gone. And so, that's been an interesting transition, is rebuilding the entire company around financial sovereignty. And that still includes cryptocurrency, and it has to, because part of cryptocurrency, part of our investment strategy is cryptocurrency. I to this day, still our biggest investments are in crypto, just because we started them earlier. But ultimately, we're going to build a lot of wealth by following the financial sovereignty way. And as many of you guys will come along and join us in this journey towards financial sovereignty that we are all on, then the more of you will succeed. And so I'm greatly looking forward to seeing the company grow here. We've got the Financial Sovereignty Academy coming out soon. I'm going to be doing a lot of work on our financial coaching business, getting resources for you guys out there. We're going to be bringing on new staff. We're going to be uploading new content. We've got the Jeb McAfee show that we're going to be launching eventually. Right now, I mean, it's just me and my wife, and we've got 3 small kids, so we're just kind of in the thick of it. You know, when you're first building, you know, people are like, Jeb, you've got 233,000 subscribers. Man, you've made it. No, I mean, like, we're just starting. We're right here. You know, when your compound interest is accruing, you're like going like this, and eventually it takes off. And that'll be, you know, 5-10 years from now. Fine, I don't care. It might be next year. It might be 10 years from now. I don't care. But we're just cruising along, doing the best we can. We're abiding by our principles. We're following the proven method of the financial sovereignty way. We're building our wealth. We're doing our best to be disciplined and consistent here on the stream. When we bring other content back, now that we're postpartum and we've got a different schedule, we're going to try and be as disciplined and as consistent and high quality as we can in that regard. And things are going to grow. The vision of financial sovereignty will be brought to its fruition. I believe that that's what the Lord's will is. And so that's what we're going to do. I'm excited for it. I cannot wait to lead you guys into the promised land of declaring war on chaos, declaring war on debt, intentionally investing, building financial sovereignty that we can live like no one else, and so that we can give radically, because we know that that is where true joy comes from. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because more content's coming, and go love someone. Drive through your neighborhood. That person's got a Tim Harris Waltz sign out front. How about you make them some food and go knock on their door? And when they ask, who'd you vote for? And you say Trump, and then you tell them, no, I just wanted to bless you, because the Lord teaches me that when I bless my quote-unquote enemies, I'm not making you my enemy, but we disagree. When I bless those people that I disagree with, then I'll be blessed for that, and then you will too. And if you voted for Kamala or are going to, and you see somebody with a Trump sign out, go walk over to them and say, hey, can I pray with you? Like, I would just love to, see if there's any way that I can help. Is there anything that I can do for your family? Please tell me anything that we can do to bless you guys in your home. We've really got to reach across the aisle and love each other, even if we completely disagree on economics, even if we completely disagree on immigration, even if the other person is genuinely wrong morally. Morally, they're wrong. There are some issues that we should absolutely stand divided on because they are moral issues rather than issues of wisdom. They're moral issues. There are some things that certain politicians are advocating for that are genuinely evil, and we absolutely should stand divided on those issues, those moral issues. But even as we stand divided, we can still stand in love and care for those people and love them and be generous to the good and the wrong, to the righteous and the unrighteous, to the good and the unjust at the same time, as God sends the rain and the sun on the evil and the just alike. So let's choose to love one another today, instead of choosing to be violent with our words or with our tongue or with our faces or with our car horns or a certain finger on the end of both of your hands or with your fist or with anything. Let's be loving one to another in the fear of the Lord, because we know that that is how we will actually bring restoration to the nation, much more so powerful than any president could ever be, is the power of love. Christ loved those that hated him, and those that hated him put him up on a cross and killed him. And through his love and his resurrection, he overthrew the entire Roman Empire, and it became a Christian nation. We can do the same thing again. We can overthrow the hatred in our land and no longer stand divided as the divided states of America, but we can once again be the United States of America because we reached across the aisle and we only decided to be divided on things that actually mattered. They were actually moral issues. And otherwise, we did our best to love each other and care for each other, pray for each other, and be generous one to another. And we can come back together as a family of 50 states rather than a blood feud between warring siblings, which is what we basically are right now. And it's sad. And I don't want that for our nation. I love our country, and I know we can do better. So let's act like Jesus. Let's love like Jesus. Our family motto is love like Jesus. Let's love like Jesus. Let's go out, vote, stand with conviction. That's fine. Vote, make your voice heard. But let's also love. Martin Luther King said, hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. So let's be light and let's be love, just like was talked about in the book of 1 John. And let's do that for the world. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
a real good